What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of the Jericho Report Weekly News Briefing. This is going to be for Sunday, the 6th of September 2020. We didn't die from an asteroid on the 1st. Right on. Well, the news kept on going. You know how we do it around here, section by section. You know what I'm saying? As always, the first link below will take you over to the Patreon post. That's where you can find all of the madness. Let's start off with the COVID madness. Did you see the CDC quietly updated COVID-19 numbers? Only 9,210 Americans died from the COVID alone. Rest had all these people that died of other causes or pre-existing. Let me tell you something. Anybody who has a pre-existing health condition already knows that they're vulnerable to things. So now they're saying that only less than 10,000 people have died from COVID, and we call this a pandemic. Absolute BS is what it is. Let's get on with it. 90% of confirmed COVID-19 cases might not be contagious. That's just the news. Oh, you know, it's a conspiracy theory. CDC deluge with insane number of calls about conspiracy theories. Oh, that came out September 2nd. Of course, we're all crazy. Nazi Piglosi, however, got her hair did. Admits to hairdo, blames salon for violation, saying she was set up. She just went into a salon to get her hair did. You know, because the rules don't apply to somebodies. They only apply to us peasants. Anyway, Cleveland police identify officers shot and killed on the city's west side. As you're watching this report on Sunday, St. Louis City is laying to rest our officer who was killed in a line of duty this past week. I reported on it in my last report. He passed away. Another cop dead, this one in Cleveland. Sad news. Chicago passes 500 homicides, on track for one of the most violent years in decades. Is it any surprise? That from the Chicago Tribune. That's how gun control works, folks. Breitbart puts this out. Donald Trump shares message describing Portland mayor as useless effing idiot. Over to election news, I guess. Democrat data firm says Trump landslide on election day, but will be flipped by Biden. Oh, this is going to be so entertaining to agree. You know, buy your popcorn, folks. That's what I have to say. Let's see. Top general says military will play no role in resolving any election dispute. Thank you for the people who corrected me on last week. I hadn't seen that story yet. Civil war. Washington Post threatens catastrophic violence if Biden loses. Meanwhile, media offers new weapon to protect Biden, suggesting his mental health is failing means you're part of a Russian conspiracy. Of course, because, you know, this from the guy who said this week.
COVID has taken this year, just since the outbreak, has taken more than 100 years. Look, here's the lives. When you think about it, more lives this year than any other year for the past 100 years.
Think about it. I'm a conspiracy theorist. Just before I started shooting this report, I did see a rumor somewhere that he's about to drop out of the race because of some unknown medical condition. Anyway, we'll keep an eye on that. Probably just a conspiracy theory. Over to financial news. I feel like I'm lagging a little bit. Let me see if I can speed things up. How major U.S. stock indexes fared on Friday. Did you see this week the Dow actually went over 29,000? 29,000 Twilight Zone Dow. Donald Trump was on Twitter. I am the man. I am the greatest. Look what I have created. Let's see. For the week, the Dow dropped 520 points, though. The past couple days were kind of catastrophic. What happened, Donald Trump? U.S. economy gained 1.4 million jobs last month. Unemployment rate falls to 8.4. I don't believe that bullshit for a second. New COVID-19 layoffs make job reductions permanent. That came out 8/29. What city? All over the place. I think that's about MGM Resorts, though. More than 100 Seattle businesses closed for good because of COVID and other issues. Make no mistake, it's happening all over the country, all over the world. Jobs are just, we're not even begun to feel this stuff, folks. What the catastrophic financial. Let's just get on with it. Buy lots of food and store it in some place safe because very difficult times are approaching. That from the economic collapse. Couldn't agree more. White House says CDC will halt evictions using quarantine rules. Okay, well, that's good for the time being. But what about all of the property owners? How are they supposed to pay their mortgages? You know, because apartment complexes, let's say. If you halt rent on whole like 50, 60, 70, 200 unit apartment complexes, do you realize the mortgage those people have to pay? I don't understand the math. I'll put that from Bloomberg, though. It's just dire consequences ahead due to soaring national debt. Indeed, has anyone looked at the U.S. debt clock lately? Take a look at it. Ultra-rich investor group panic hoards cash ahead of potential growth scare. I don't know about that. That from Zero Hedge. We got rioters and looters could lose unemployment benefits under new bill. Be advised, if you're one of these Antifa people, you want to be aware of that. Dallas Star CEO says we're losing customers for supporting Black Lives Matter. I've been wanting to make an individual video about this, but allow me to have my commentary here. Listen, when people watch sports, NHL, NFL, MLB, whatever, they're doing it to escape reality. They're doing it to take the focus off all the bullshit going on in the world. All of these sports franchises, I feel nothing for you. You wanted to get involved in the politics of it all, reap the whirlwind. I hope all sports fail. You're a bunch of jackasses. People watch sports to get away from that bullshit. Anyway, that's just my little mini rant. On with the news. Maybe you can get into the alternative meat business. Startup hoping a 3D printed steak can upend the meat industry. And I got one more in the financial bin. World's richest man who has history of working with the CIA gets official approval to unleash Amazon drones. Be advised. I'm sorry, I know I'm all over the place. I just can't believe what they've done to sports. People don't want to see that shit. They want to see the game. They don't want to see you taking a knee in favor of Black Lives Matter and all this. Anyway, over to New World Order and Police State News. This is where I stop and ask you to share this video because this is the important stuff, folks. CDC tells states be ready to distribute vaccines on November 1. Oh, it's just an election stunt, right? Then let me ask you this. Donald Trump has reserved 800 million doses of COVID-19 for a 330 million population. Think about that, folks. Election stunt, you may say, but what about all of the billions that's going to Moderna and Pfizer and all the rest of them? All this billions just an election stunt. You know who's going to have to pay for that, right? Anyway, your thoughts on the Donald Trump kill shot? Or is it a kill shot? Or is he just trying to help just being political? I don't know. Apple and Google announced new automatic app to track COVID exposures. They don't care if you install the app or not. It's all automatically going to be on your phone. Be advised. Governor Cuomo deploys SWAT team to deal with COVID. What? Put a link to that. Don't know anything about it. First Australian takes guns, then forced vaccine. Now arrest people for their thought. If you have not seen the video of this woman being arrested for some shit she said on Facebook, you got to check it out, people. It's not just the United States. It's around the world. And again, I stand with anyone in a fight against the New World Order. Don't come at me with deep state bullshit. I'm here to fight the New World Order. If you're fighting the New World Order, you're on my side. Downing Street plans new digital ID cards for British citizens, just like we said years ago. There's an article on that. First Australian to be fitted with tracking device for alleged COVID-19 breach. Be advised. Ankle monitor or chip in your brain or in your hand or whatever. Professor says government, check this out. I can't get this to stop scrolling where I want it to, damn it. Professor says government should secretly drug water supply to make people compliant. I'm not making this up. Posted August. What, they already do that? Have you heard about the fluoride in the water? Do you think that's for your teeth? You ingest it into your body. Think about it, people. Other news, protests follow shooting death of black man who was stopped by deputies while riding a bicycle. This happened, I believe, in Rochester. No, this is the one that happened out in LA. We've had a couple more shootings this week. So expect more protests. This was not a cover-up. This was the Rochester one. Mayor and police respond to alleged allegations. Apparently, these cops put a bag over the guy's head and let us die. I'm sure you're aware of it. If you're not, I'll put a link to the article. D.C. releases long list of facilities to be renamed, reallocated, contextualized, blah, blah, blah. Be advised, more changes in America. And guardian angels on the rise in NYC as moms and teachers patrol the streets. I have one question. Who the hell designed that t-shirt? What do you think, folks? Do you see the imagery going on there? New World Order in your face everywhere you go. Over to World War III news. U.S. forces stand ready after Russian sub services near Alaska. That came out on 8/28. I got a whole bunch of Russian stuff here. Fighter jet then violates naval airspace over an island on the 31st. We got U.S. Army holds live fire rocket artillery drills less than 70 miles from Russian border. We got the big story this week. B-52 bombers fly unprecedented patrol along edge of Russian-controlled territory in Ukraine. And Russia scrambles 8 fighter jets to intercept U.S. bombers over the Black Sea, says Defense Minister. So a lot going on with Russia. Apparently they're already trying to amplifying claims to mail-in voter fraud, blah, blah, blah. So, of course, they're going to have that whole thing with Russia interference. Anyway, other news going on in the World War III. Then Beijing chilling threat. State media says Australia would become the poor white trash of Asia if it doesn't welcome the rise of China. That from the Daily Mail. Beijing warns of possible military accidents after U.S. carries out provocative operation in the South China Sea. Be advised, China to gradually sell 20% of its U.S. Treasury holdings, may dump it all if military conflict, says state media. That from ZeroHedgeMilitary.com says Chinese military has surpassed U.S. in ships, missiles, And Air Defense DoD report finds very interesting stuff coming from military.com. A couple more. North Korea officials to be punished after typhoon causes dozens of casualties. Apparently the typhoon did something wrong, so you must pay. Just a matter of time before they say, I'm going to blow up the world because this is the fall of the United States. And Little Kim apparently had a crush on Sarah Sanders. Trump told Sarah Sanders to take one for the team after Kim Jong-un winked. Little Kim, not only is he so rotary, he's so ornery. Okay, over to Earth changes in 2012 news now. I got the earthquake map set up for 6 points and above for the past week. 6.3, September 1, all these places, I think. Yeah, Chile had some big ones. I think they even had tsunami marker going off down there. Nothing big came out of that, though. 6.1 over here, 6.5 on the 30th. 31. I'll put a link to the earthquake data. There's been a lot of 5 points, man. A lot of earthquake, as there always is. But, you know, this week I just remember seeing an earthquake everywhere. Check it out. Yellowstone geysers erupt for the first time in 6 years. Be advised, that from The Guardian. Yellowstone getting hot again. Part of the Trump border wall about to collapse just months after it was built. As funds linked to blah, blah, blah. Steve Bannon. Apparently the border wall's falling down. How about that? I will build a wall and all this. Apparently the wind has taken a girl by surprise this week. Apparently she got caught up in a kite. So be advised, wind doom. Everything ended well. I think that happened in China. And what is going on here? Did anyone see this video? Is this CGI? What is this? It's like a burning inside of the tree with no smoke. That is the most weirdest shit I've ever seen. I mean, I want to say CGI, but what are your thoughts? I'll put a link to it. Holy hell, mass mystery explosion leaves 165 deep crater in Russia's Arctic tundra amid bizarre UFO conspiracy. Check that out. Looks like the thing from Star Wars. Border Patrol, Ocean Doom, seized $1 million worth of cocaine after it washed up on Florida beach. Somebody's in trouble. A smell of rotten meat, garbage piling up across major U.S. cities as COVID hits sanitation workers. Be advised, not here in my city. Check it out. Did you hear this week The Rock and his entire family has COVID-19? I call bullshit on this story. I say another one is headed underground. I find that hard to believe. Segueing into asteroid news, space rock, hundreds of meteorite rocks up to $26,000 in worth. Rain down on Brazilian town. That came out September 1st. Be advised, asteroid bigger than the Great Pyramid of Giza to hit Earth's orbit this week should not hit us, they say. That came out on September 1st. And as we're not facing enough stuff, Earth is moving through radioactive debris of exploded stars. Is that what that red thing is flying through the sky? Anyway, over to strange and bizarre news. Got a ton of it this week. Suspect in Portland shooting of Trump supporter killed during arrest attempt. Apparently he took Antifa to the grave. This guy didn't have as much balls. Flamethrower packing Antifa entered fetal position after being crying after unsuccessful escape from the cops. Don't that just break your heart? Far left protesters hurl objects from overpass onto passing vehicles with Trump flags. What a pussy move, throwing stuff on cars on the highway. I think that happened out of Portland. Driver captured after SUV careens into Fairfax District store. Wanted to get him some new Jordans. Check out the video on my other channel of this stuff happening up in Chicago. Good stuff. BLM protester blocking tow truck tries to escape police, eats mouthful of concrete. You gotta check that out. Trump supporting Marine kicked in the head as violent brawl breaks out with BLM protester after President's Kenesha visit. That from The Sun. Other news, Dallas man allegedly kills his wife and 2 kids for being too loud. Tragic story. What the hell's wrong with people? Shoot on sight. Chicago gangs form a pact to execute cops who draw weapons on suspects. Hopefully the cops can fire first. That's all I'm going to say on that. Woman set on fire up in Wisconsin. What's up with that? Don't know. Put a link to it from the patch. Breitbart says, AutoZone stabbing suspect felt the need to find a white man to kill. Okay, y'all show me some respect now. America gives up on teaching standard English in favor of black language. Instead, we all just got to learn how to speak jive. Watch the movie Airplane. Canada's top doctor says consider using a mask during sexual activity. This is what it's come to, folks. I'll just put a link to the story. And for all of the news, please check out my favorites. Ton of stuff over here. Thank you to everybody who continues to post content. Melbourne COVID protest. Some protests that I actually agree with. You got to pull that video up and check out how these people are $1,000 fines for everybody. If you want a feel-good story, Bear Swipes jogger and hair-raising conference. Nothing happened. He just wanted to feel him on some. Can Joe come out? Oh, you got to check this out. Whoever made this video, you got to check that video out. That's all I'm going to say. Check out the video by Mark Dice, No Truth Allowed. He's talking about how... what's his name? The kid that fired on the people up in Apparently, all of his lawyers' Twitter accounts are being shut down. They are just messing with him left and right. You can't even talk about that guy without being censored. Anyway, I got some other stuff on there. Thank you to everybody who continues to put out fresh content. Definitely check out my favorites. All kinds of fresh news over there. And shout-outs this week. I wanted to give a shout-out to Seattle Police Chief Carmen Best. You know, I didn't know this woman. She wasn't my police chief, but I know the police chief here in St. Louis does just an amazing job with what he has to work with. And the guy's all heart. And, you know, having looked into this woman's career, and she's had a long career, she felt she could no longer do her job because of cutbacks. And, you know, she felt she was being set up to fail with all of the crap. You people that want to defund the police, you know, I don't know if you happen to live in big cities. I mean, it's easy to say defund the police when the police fuck up. And they do. I mean, it happens. You know, George Floyd, we can get into all of the stuff that people are protesting about. And I agree. I'm the first one to say the police state is definitely a problem. But there's a lot of other stuff that goes on that you don't hear about. You don't hear about all of the shootings and the stabbings and the home invasions and the carjackings and the overdoses and all the shit that major metropolitan police put up with on a nightly basis. People don't stop and think about that. You want to get rid of the police. Do you realize what it would look like if you did that? I don't think you stop to think about it. Anyway, I don't want to go into a long tirade about that. I just wanted to wish this woman well. I think the people of Seattle did a horrible thing forcing this woman to resign. 28 years of her life. You know, a black woman. You say Black Lives Matter. I don't know, sitting here in St. Louis, her life, her career mattered to me, and I'm just an observer from far away. Anyway, just wanted to wish her well. Tell me your thoughts. I know there's some people on my channel that can't stand law enforcement, and I don't give a damn what you think. This is what I think. You know, make a video and tell people what you think. That's all I got for this week, though, guys. If you like the report, please give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. If you think it sucked, it's the worst of YouTube, you never want to see it again, please rate. That would help it move around YouTube. I would give this one a thumbs down myself because I just feel like my energy's not right today. I've got the energy, I just don't have it focused right. I apologize. But thank you guys for hanging out with me for a few minutes. You can also support me on Patreon if you want, or you can follow me over there for free. Another place to follow me. I'll never charge for my content. You can support me directly with PayPal. I put a lot into these. Sometimes I can't get my tongue untied, but I try. You can also follow me everywhere else. BitChute, Twitter, Facebook, Gab, so that we don't lose contact. And tell me your thoughts. You know, another crazy week of news. We didn't get hit by an asteroid, thank God, but, you know, we got Russia, World War III stuff. We still got asteroids coming in, people. We got stuff flying through the atmosphere. A lot of this stuff's not being reported by the mainstream media. You got to go on the forums and check daily. You know, I go over to Space Weather and I look at some of these asteroids. They're not seeing them until like minutes before they're passing us. So you never know. Anyway, that's all I got for this week. Thank you guys for hanging out with me for a few minutes. I'll let you get back to doing whatever you're doing. Have a good week. Stay safe. Remain vigilant. I will see you on the next one.